while we're waiting, I just have to thank the Cosmos for letting me run into Lopez Nauyak. After I came back from Wharton long ago, I bumped into this fellow with really indigenous local thinking philosophy. And when I began to understand what we had lost through the process of colonization for 450 years, if you remember, there's this writer who said, we Filipinos have lived 350 years in a convent and 50 years in Hollywood. That was Carmen Chitang Nakpil. But it was a jolt to me when this very simple person who was also using his hands and using his ancient philosophies to do a sustainable livelihood. And I became his follower, and I wanted to share him with you. So, any questions?
I love the video and the performance and everything, but I think what I process it synthetically is that you're talking about decolonization, ecology, and maybe industrialization in a way, no? In the three clips. And I think that the reflection somehow is from a critical position, but also I think that there is a component added that those videos are from maybe 30, 40 years ago, and there is a component that fundamentally changed, which is the technological layer that we have today, connectedness, ubiquitous computing, and so on. So, how would you do a short revision of that now? How would you add that layer in a in a nutshell?
Well, I frame the world as I have seen it, and I probably my narration track makes it even more obvious that I am critiquing something that we have lost. It's true. This film, Turumba, was I think the 1981. So that was what? Yeah, 30 years ago. And I just heard that for the first time in so many hundred years, it's been canceled because of the coronavirus. Now, maybe if we didn't have the technology of internet and quick news, they would have never uh, postponed this. But the assembly line and the entry of new cheap materials, cheap glues, maybe the fact that there are a lot of newspapers more available affects the way that family makes their paper mache products. But I think, yeah, if it has remained small scale, like in that family, if it had stayed before the Einkaufsleiter, the German wholesale agent came, maybe they would have kept that kind of intimacy, and it wasn't the kind of high pressure meeting deadlines from some big boss out there in some foreign country. Maybe it would have still been able to, because it was connected to the fiesta of the Madonna. It was something connected to the community. If we've lost that, maybe those are topics for discussion. Of course, the world today has become very assembly line thinking, and how do you undo that? Well, maybe through conferences like this, maybe. What was that? Okay. Yes.
Thanks a lot for both the performance and the movies. My question would be, uh, so I'm from Anu. We work with artisans. It's an e-commerce platform that's artisan led and artisan owned. And one of the next steps for Anu is wholesale and retail orders in general. Your movies were really spot on in that sense, and I could relate a lot. And I'm wondering what's the fine line between providing this opportunity for artisans and the developing craft in that sense, and
Providing what?
uh, this opportunity, this kind of opportunity, retail opportunities, wholesale opportunities, international orders in that sense, to develop crafts and at the same time not falling into this assembly line approach in a way?
Well, there's no easy answer. When this bigness of your operation start to impinge on your relaxed daily interactions. For one thing, I think it's the echo chamber of what I call the MBA mind. You're not an MBA now, but no. The thing is this: that we have learned to maximize efficiency. Like the grandmother becomes quality control manager. There are these hierarchies of managerism, but Malcolm mentioned in his paper there are new production staff layers, and everybody's trying to make things efficient. And maybe there is a need for efficiency, but do we have to all follow that echo chamber that we have to do things big and get 100,000 or 25,000 dog order? Maybe we have to rethink that. Maybe if those small scale companies say, okay, I can do up to 8,000 without disrupting my family life. Is there going to be more rethinking? As a matter of fact, I think this conference should be called Recrafting Our Thinking. Yeah. So it's just, I think the kinds of values that we have accepted over the last 2 centuries, which is based on Western concept of efficiency and optimization for profit, maybe has to be deleted from the curriculums, and maybe more of the young people, new families should just be content with smaller. But what we call opportunity is also, yeah, an opportunity for going into despair because our family structures have gotten lost. And in Philippines, the family structure is a very strong thing. So maybe find a way to stay with that. Yeah. Is there any last question? No. I've been in the Mount Fuji. I've been in the snow of Mount Fuji in my G-string. Okay. Anyway, I hope that the mix of people here, besides the crazy artists, the policymakers, the NGO idealists, our teachers, and there's one more question. Okay, one last question. We'll at least come to a fruitful ending.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I really appreciate. It's an honor to be in front of the national artists. This is my first time. I'm Paul, and I am from the Philippine Digital Travel and Tourism Network. And part of our advocacy is to promote sustainable tourism, of which culture and crafts are actually part of it. My question, Sir Kidlat, is: do we have these materials available? Do you have your digital content available? Because we would love to showcase your materials, especially to the millennials, because that is part of our advocacy in reaching out even the youngest of the population, so that we all find a very good value in the preservation of our culture and heritage. Thank you.
Well, I'm very much the un-MBA. I have the un-MBA myself. I don't really have any marketing. My films are are very hard to get to. Although I think now things are digitizable, maybe we will find a way to get them accessible within this year. I think my son will help me. My son is the original Kidlat here. Will help us get some kind of way to spread. I'm happy that I was been able to share it in this conference. By the way, I think tonight or maybe tomorrow night, if the organizers are able to, they will manage the full film of Turumba. Maybe it'll be after the network thing. For those who would like to see it, it's an optional thing. It's just an added thing at the evening. If you'd rather go to the swimming pool, it's fine. So let's wrap up with just let's recap. How will I change my style of movie making? I think I started with this independent way. I do things all by myself. It's really crafting. I'm the main actor. Because I'm the cheapest actor available. I'm the director. I'm the cameraman quite often, and even if I would have been successful, even if somebody would give me a whole lot of money, I don't think I would know how to do it in the industrial way, the Hollywood way, the big time way. Well, technology. In the end, if I continue filmmaking, I depend on technology, and but I don't go for the latest. If I can still tell my story with my old 16 millimeter camera, I would do that. Of course, it's easier now with digital, but in the end, that's why I always say I'm really a storyteller. I'm not a filmmaker. I think I'm really a storyteller who happened to use film. And in this age of blackout, power outages, I am able to complement the projector that can't run by doing a little performance and chatting you guys up. So thank you very much, and let's recraft our thinking.